All right, getting ready for Fantasy NASCAR this week. We head to Pocono, as they know it, the Tricky Triangle. Make sure you check out Dan Dobish's complete preview on RotoExperts.com right now. And to do this again, of course, we bring in Sean Engel for the father and son Fantasy NASCAR segment every Friday here on the Roto Experts in the morning. And Sean, let's start with Martin Truex Jr. He dominated at Charlotte like we've never seen anybody dominate. He's got momentum. He's 10,300 on DraftKings. Should we be locking him in knowing that he's also the defending champion of the spring race at Pocono?
Well, first of all, he does have an average running position of 16.2, and he's also ran 45.4% of his laps in the top 15. Those stats are all right, but he does have a pretty high price tag of $10,300, which some fantasy owners may not find ideal. But it's hard to ignore the way his team's been running this season. So I say he might be worth that price tag, but he might be a bit of a tournament play at the same time for that reason.
Kevin Harvick's 10,400. Do we really want to spend up with Harvick there, or are we better off spending it on Truex?
Well, Harvick has 7 top 5 finishes, an average green flag speed of 163.063 miles per hour, which is 4th best, and 825 quality passes in 30 starts. Again, we have stats that are pretty decent, and Harvick has been running well the past 2 seasons, but like Truex, his salary is a bit high. But based on past history alone, you could also consider him a tournament play or somebody that's starting Yahoo as an A-list driver. But I do think between the two, Truex is the better choice this week.
All right. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 9,300. We talk about momentum. It's important in NASCAR. Truex has momentum. Jr. swept both races at Pocono in 2014, but I feel like, okay, the price is low, but he doesn't have the momentum.
However, though, Pocono is one of Junior's top tracks. He does have 2 wins and 14 top 10s in 32 starts. He does have an average finish of 4.25 in the last 4 Pocono races, which is better than anybody else within these last 4 races. He seems to have this track figured out, and I think he will be a top pick for fantasy owners this week, as this is one of his better tracks on the circuit.
Of course, this is all contingent on how we always say about how drivers do in qualifying and practices. This gives you a good initial set of or outlook of how drivers are going to do. On DraftKings, you may be able to pair Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski together. Logano's 10,000. He's had past momentum at this track, recent momentum this season. Keselowski's only 9,100.
Yep. And about the Penske drivers, we'll start with Joey Logano first. He has 5 top 10s, 1 win, and an average running position of 13.356, which is 7th best out of all drivers. And Logano, he's been getting better and better at the more tracks he's been running on. He's usually a threat to win week in and week out. Pocono is no exception to this, as Team Penske as a whole has been solid at site, so I expect Logano to be solid this week. Keselowski, on the other hand, has 4 top 5 finishes, 105 fastest laps ran, which is 7th best, and 1 win. Like Logano, Keselowski should also be a solid pick due to the whole strength of Team Penske at Pocono. But I can recommend Keselowski a little bit more than Logano because his salary is a bit lower, so Keselowski can be used to fill out more lineups as a result.
Denny Hamlin used to dominate this track, Sean. I mean, he's only 9,200 on DraftKings, but since 2010 he hasn't won. I used to pop Hamlin into my lineup, all the time. And then there's Kurt Busch, who's only $200 more. We actually went to the race in 2007 and saw Kurt Busch lead the whole time, which wasn't a whole lot of fun. It was our first NASCAR race that we went to. But Kurt Busch is really good at these tracks. Kurt Busch and Hamlin has-beens at this track, though, or should we avoid them?
Well, I think you should personally start both drivers without question. Both of them have been very consistent at Pocono, actually, with Pocono being one of their best tracks for both drivers. Kurt Busch has also been one of the most consistent drivers this entire season with only 2 finishes outside the top 10. And he has 2 Pocono wins and 75.7% laps ran in the top 15. And he also has the 3rd highest driver rating at the track of 105.7, which really makes him the perfect play to couple up with any A-list driver. And Hamlin, you should start him without question. He has 4 wins, the best driver rating in the series at the track, and an average running position of 10.671, which is also the best in the series. History shows that Pocono is Hamlin's most successful track, and if there's one track that all fantasy owners should start Hamlin, it's this one. His stats are just too good to ignore.
All right, let's hit some drivers really quick. I want you to give me one line on each, and I'll give you the DraftKings salaries. Kyle Larson, 8,700.
Larson's never finished worse than 12th in Logano. He's been running very well. I think you should actually start him.
All right, Casey Kane at 8,100.
2-time winner, 8 top 10s. Stats are about middle ground compared to other drivers' value, so sleeper pick.
Tony Stewart, 7,500. I just can't do it. Tony's not what he used to be.
Despite his good stats, which include 23 top 10s, he's been very inconsistent with a lot of finishes the past 2 seasons. So, yeah, tournament play.
Ryan Newman, good bargain at 7,100.
Yep, bargain pick, pure and simple. Finished in the top 10 in half of his starts. So, low salary, definitely start him in all formats.
Hello, Newman. All right, David Reagan, 7,400.
Low-value pick with 5 consecutive top 25 finishes at Pocono. As far as drivers of his salary range go, one of the best you can ask for around that range.
Ty Dillon, 6,000.
Dillon's only raced at Pocono about 1 time where he finished 18th. So he's solid around the range. Use him in Yahoo, especially if you're looking to save on Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney starts.
All right, Michael Annett at 4,900 on DraftKings.
Yeah, Michael Annett finished in the top 33 of his 4 starts at Pocono with an average finish of 25.5. Solid choice to fill out your lineup if you're filling it out with a lot of high-priced A-list drivers.
Real quick, are there any drivers you don't like this week?
Drivers that I don't like this week include Clint Boyer, Eric Almirola, and Danica Patrick. They've been pretty inconsistent this season when it comes to a lot of their finishes. And Pocono, I don't think they're going to continue a lot of their good luck in the past year.
All right, Sean Engel, follow him at SeanMan247 on Twitter. Sean, get ready for Game of Thrones. And real quick, best Captain America movie, is it Civil War?
My personal favorite is The Winter Soldier, actually.
All right, I still haven't seen that. I think I'm going to have to watch it this weekend.